There's a special kind of pride that you feel deep down inside, a strength that seems to thrive in Lima, Allen County.
The American way of life, to get in gear and do what's right.
An unbreakable forthright link called Real American Strength. Lima, Allen County, Real American Strength.
Keeping you up to date with what's happening in your community. Community Focus on GTV2. Thanks for joining us today on Community Focus. I'm Ann Decker, and Veronica McLauren is joining us in the studio today. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Veronica is with the Lima Allen Council on Community Affairs,
Yes.
and we're here to talk about financial literacy.
Financial literacy. Our next class is coming up April 22nd through the 24th, and that'll be from 10 to 12 noon. And it's a great program that just deals with changing behaviors and giving individuals the information they need to build their finances.
Is it mainly just changing behaviors that causes people to get into trouble and get back out of it again?
Well, that's a huge part. I would say that's about 40% of it. But the rest kind of deals with scams, predatory lending, not reading the fine print, not paying attention, not reading your bills.
And not paying your bills.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what do you offer in your class?
Well, we actually take them through a budgeting process. Many folks do budget, but they do it in their heads. So we teach them and get them in the habit of writing their budget down, putting it in a place where they can see it, and making it just something that you do as a part of your new habits that you're forming.
Okay, you've got 3 nights of classes. You want to run over what the topics are?
On the first day, we deal with just basic foundational principles. It's Budgeting 101. Behavior changes. Go the opposite way to work. Try not drinking the coffee, make it at home. And then with the money that you save, buy a coffee maker. Just different ways that you can change your negative behaviors into positive ones. Day 2, we get into a lot more of terminology. Many folks don't know the new terms that are out there, so when they're reading their credit card statement, they don't understand it. So we have someone come in and speak on that. And then day 3, we deal with banking basics. And so we have lenders come in, and they just talk about their new products that are available and ways that individuals can save.
Who should be signing up for this class?
Anybody. I should be signing up for this class.
Well, I think we all need help with our finances. I mean, no matter how much we make, you know we waste money at some point.
Absolutely, and it's all about rebuilding your mentality and just about ways to resave. I mean, with the economy changing, the world changing, we have to continue to update our product ourselves.
Is there a fee for the class?
Absolutely free.
Wonderful, you can't beat it.
No, you can't
I bet
beat
you
that.
even have snacks too.
We do offer snacks and refreshments. How did you know?
If people do want to sign up, how do they do that?
They can make a call up to LACA and ask to speak with Erica McDuffie, our financial literacy specialist. Her number is 419-227-0158, extension 154.
And don't wait because it starts on the 22nd.
April 22nd, so make your phone calls now so we can get you registered.
Wonderful. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, Ann.
You're welcome. Veronica McLauren from LACA. I'm Ann Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.
Let's all do our part to keep the Ottawa River clean and healthy. Apply fertilizer and other lawn chemicals according to their label so excess chemicals aren't washed into the river. Your actions matter.
Help keep the youth of Lima safe by donating to Lima Safety City today. Hello, I'm Chuck Eichelberger from the Lima Noon Optimist Club. Safety City is a very important part of the Lima community. The Optimist Club is renovating Safety City and it needs your help. Donations can be made by going to the website limasafetycity.org. You can also send a donation to Lima Noon Optimist Club, P.O. Box 428, Lima, Ohio 45802. Help keep the youth of Lima safe by donating to Safety City today.
What is your name, please?
I am Doug Behringer.
I am Doug Behringer.
I'm Doug Behringer.
Remember to tell the truth. Only one person was truthful about their name. For victims of identity theft, it is not a game. They find their credit and reputations ruined. Never give out your personal information to people or businesses you are not familiar with. By the way, I'm the real Doug Behringer. I'm an attorney and the victim of identity theft. Protect yourself. It can happen to anyone.
Thanks for joining us today on Community Focus. I'm Ann Decker, and in the studio today are Leanne Shade and Diane Fowler. They're with the Lima Police Department. And now that the weather is warming up, we have to watch out for the two-wheeled vehicles, bicycles and motorcycles.
Bicycles, especially in your little ones, because we had a bad winter. They didn't get out to practice on the bicycle. So now that the weather's warm, they're starting to get out and ride. They're not real stable on the bicycle. We suggest that for the first year that they get a helmet, because it says that ages 4 to 15, children who were not wearing a helmet, and this is for all United States, 30 to 45,000 head injuries.
You are kidding.
No. 18 to 55,000 scalp and facial injuries.
There's no mandatory law about bicycle helmets in this state, though, correct?
No, but we suggest if you're traveling, because Easter is coming up, check with Google, check that state to see if they have a bicycle helmet law, because every township, city ordinance is different. So, you know, they may be taking the bicycle for the little one, but they may need the helmet where they're going to.
And they should have the helmet anyway.
Yes, at least for the first year, because they're kind of wobbly, and especially if you're taking the training wheels off and they're just learning, it saves a lot of headache. Literally.
We should discuss what side of the road to ride on, too, because you see bicyclists going every which way. What's correct?
You ride with the traffic, and we suggest you don't weave in and out of cars. And the other thing, if you're on the sidewalk, especially with your little ones, they need to pass on the left side of the pedestrian and let them know I'm coming around so the pedestrian doesn't turn. You know, accidents can happen that way too.
Sure, but you see so many bicyclists riding into traffic, and that's just dangerous. One of these days they're going to get hit. Okay.
And this is what's happening.
Leanne, what about motorcycle safety?
Thought I would bring you just a few tips. The look twice, save a life is such a great saying. What it's really saying is that there's this blind spot, and it's just a tiny blind spot. But you can look for a motorcycle, you can look away, you didn't see anything, and when you look back, it can be right there. So by taking that extra time, it can really save a life. By the same token, if you always look for something small, you'll always see something big. So if you focus in this time of year on the mindset of looking for motorcycles, you'll definitely see a car and stay safer as well. Also, motorcycles can stop very quickly, a lot quicker than a car can. So you need to keep enough distance between you and a motorcycle, because if a motorcyclist stops quickly, the car has more reaction time and you can slam into them. So just keep your distance. The best I tried to think of for the motorcyclist and for the people watching out for them, and for the motorcyclist, the best thing that we can say is to wear the protective gear. The helmets, the clothing, and the footwear. And not only for the motorcyclist, but for the passenger as well, because it's so common that someone will just want to jump on with you, and you have to be able to say, you know, not if I don't have that protective gear with me. Something that we've done in our family, because I know that the protective gear is expensive and could keep people from getting it, but my husband rides, and so what we do is he asks for gift certificates for a holiday, for a Christmas or a birthday, and several people will give him a gift certificate for the dealership that he chooses, and then he puts all those together, and then he buys, you know, a protective coat or full clothing, whatever. But it's also very, very important to remember the shoes, the boots. No flip-flops, no flip-flops, no flip-flops.
That goes for a bicycle too?
Yes, because things can pop up. If you go down, it just would not be good. And along those lines, I thought I would tell a story about my husband had been on a motorcycle trip 2 years ago with 4 other buddies, and they were riding in Arizona when a sandstorm suddenly came out of nowhere. There was no warning, and all 5 motorcycles went down. All 5 were totaled. And they all had protective gear on, but one person chose not to wear a helmet that day. Even with the protective gear, there were some serious injuries, but those serious injuries could have cost them their life had they not had the protective gear on. The person that did not wear a helmet that day came out by far the worst with a concussion, and you bounce your head, your face may go along the pavement, and he had road rash, which is like just giant scabs over half of his head and an eye swollen shut. So when you're thinking about wearing a helmet or not wearing a helmet, I think it's a good thought to realize that if you go down and you have this road rash and you go to the hospital, the medical personnel has to clean out every little stone, every little piece of gravel, every little piece of sand. It's a very, very, very painful experience when you're already in something that's traumatic for your body.
Yeah, and you can prevent it all just by wearing a helmet and other protective gear.
Exactly.
Something else we need to bring up is texting and driving, because people are still doing it despite the law.
Yeah, and especially with prom weekend this weekend. We know we're going to be texting, where you at, where can I meet you? We suggest, because a lot of girls will go to another girl's house to get ready, let your passenger take the phone call. Put it on speaker. Everybody can hear then, and the driver has both hands on the wheel. The other thing is ringtones. If you know someone's going to be calling you, set that ringtone, and then you know who is calling, and still let the passenger take that phone call. We suggest that if you don't have a passenger with you, turn the phone off until you get to your destination. Because I know it's an exciting time, but they need to be aware of what's going on around them.
And that just takes away temptation by turning off the phone.
Yes.
And being prom weekend, we also need to stress, don't drink and drive.
Yes. We have some research that we took, and I did not realize this until I did it. Most deaths and teenage alcohol-related drinking and driving happen between 3 and 12 in the afternoon on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and midnight, after midnight, is 54%. That's prom time. So we suggest if someone is drinking and driving, don't ride with them. We'd rather have you around to talk about prom than versus the opposite.
Use your common sense.
Yes.
If people want more information about traffic safety, can they get it from LPD?
Absolutely.
And they can Google it too. If they want to know the research that we found, they can Google it. And what I Googled was teenage drinking and driving, and this is how I found what I got.
All right.
You can always call my number, 221-5138.
221-5110.
Okay, thank you both for coming in today.
Thanks.
Diane Fowler and Leanne Shade from the Lima Police Department. I'm Ann Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.
Some things just naturally go together. Other things don't mix. Please, don't drink and drive.
I didn't want to be touched. He said it would feel good, but it didn't. So he gave me a new doll and some candy. He told me not to tell anybody and that it's our special secret. How do I make him stop?
Say no. Run away. Scream. It's okay to tell an adult you trust if someone is hurting you or making you uncomfortable. Feel safe. Feel strong. Feel free.
Reduce, recycle, reuse. Allied Waste Services in the City of Lima encourage you to live green by recycling all that you can. Recycling promotes green living by reducing the amount of waste materials buried in landfills. This saves money, natural resources, and energy. Keep our environment healthy and start recycling today. Allied Waste Services is committed to a clean environment. Contact us today for your recycling needs. Visit our website, republicservicesohio.com, to learn more about recycling today.
Thanks for joining us today on Community Focus. I'm Ann Decker, and Terri Averisch is in the studio today. She is with the Lima Family YMCA, and the Y has quite a few special events coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, we're going to be busy. But the first one that is coming up is our Healthy Kids Day on the 26th of this month. It's from 10 until 2. And this year we've combined with the Partnership for Violence-Free Families. They have a Spank Out Day. We've been both having our events on the same day, and we're going to combine them because it is health and safety related.
That makes more sense.
And So there's a lot of great activities for families, and we do ask the parents accompany the kids, but we're going to have a fun run. So the first 100 kids that run a mile or walk a mile on the track get a free t-shirt. Dare is going to be there. We have ultrasound, have the bouncy games. The Fort Wayne Zoo is going to have an animal demonstration at noon. We've got a Dixie the Clown, a rope climb. A lot of the organizations that are there are concentrating on doing something healthy or promoting what kind of summer activities they have that are healthy and active for kids and families, or good nutrition. But we have a lot of those kind of activities, and it'll be a really fun day for kids and parents.
And that's on the 26th?
The 26th.
At what time?
And it starts at 10 a.m., and it'll be until 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. Is there a charge for any of it?
No, it's all free.
Oh,
we
great
do
deal.
have a sponsorship for it, and we really appreciate that because it's enabled us to just open it up and not charge, and that's from International Tank Service, Subway, and Paramount Advantage, and we do appreciate those sponsors very much.
Wonderful. What else do you have coming up?
Well, it's registration time now for Splash. Splash is our Learn to Swim program that we do in the summer, and it's that first week of June. We're starting, it's June 2nd to the 6th, and we have classes morning, afternoon, and there's some kids still in school those first 2 days, so we also have 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 and 7 o'clock classes too. But this is a community service. It's 5 days of lessons for 45 minutes each for only $5. So we have started also offering this for some preschoolers too, so it starts at age 4, but really the main focus is for school-age kids from age 6 and up, and it teaches them basic water safety skills and how to learn, the introductory skills. They're not going to come out after 5 days, if they're scared to death of the water, knowing, but they will start to learn to float, get a healthy fear of the water, but know what to do if there's any kind of problem. So that's a great program, and we have all different times so we can meet everybody, but it does fill quickly. So we start registration in April, and usually mid-May or so, we've got most of our classes filled.
How do the parents sign the kids up?
They can sign up online. They can come up to the Y and fill out the paperwork. They can call over the phone and do it with a credit card.
Great.
So
Plenty of ways.
It's pretty easy.
Okay.
But with water, just water safety is so important, and kids will learn how to be around lakes, around rivers, what to do if somebody does kind of slip and fall. What emergency things do you do yourself if it's you, or if it's a friend, not to jump in, but what can you do to help save them? So they'll learn all of those kind of skills.
And at the beginning of summer, with everybody going on vacation, it's really important for the kids to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then all our swim lessons, of course, will start in the summer, and it'll lead into that a little bit too. And speaking of summer, we have a lot of great summer camps for kids too. We have our British soccer camp is always really big in the summer, and it's in June, and we have the guys that come from England or different place. They all have accents that come, but they can play soccer. And we just did a small clinic last weekend more for coaches, but they're going to have a kids camp once the kids are out of school. And there's also a basketball camp, volleyball camp, different age basketball camps. And then at the end of the summer, more almost into fall, we have OSU swim camp that'll be starting up again too.
Great. And for the grown-ups, you have some new programs as well.
Oh yeah, we're always introducing something new, but right now it's a TRX suspension training, and almost all of the classes are full in that, but we're starting to develop a couple more classes for the people that are really interested in it. But that's where you're using your own body weight, and your legs suspended or your arms are suspended or something, but it's a great muscular functional type of workout. And we have our Pilates Reformers trainers still. We have Born to Move is a new Kids Les Mills program that it's great for boys and girls age 8 and up. They learn some martial arts skills just to have fun with activity. Some yoga, a little bit of dance. So it's just a fun class for the kids, and that's becoming really popular too.
Okay. If people want more information about any of the programs or camps at the Y, how do they get the information?
They can go to our website, limaymca.net. they can call the Y at 419-223-6045, or they could just stop in and take a tour. We have a great facility. We love to share all the activities and everything we have with people. So.
Wonderful. We appreciate you coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. Terri Averisch from the Lima Family YMCA. I'm Ann Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.
My joints ached and I was always tired.
I was always cold, I couldn't concentrate, and my body hurt all over.
My doctor told me I had lupus. Women of childbearing age, and especially African American women, are at higher risk.
If you suspect that you have lupus, you should contact your doctor.
You're invited to attend the local lupus support group meetings on the second Thursday of each month at 1 o'clock at Lima Towers. For further information, go to connectedhands.org.
This is a nice neighborhood.
It is.
Is that the house we live in, Mom?
Yes.
Look at all the kids around here, Mom. I like this house.
Hi, we're here about the house.
It's rented.
It's against the law to deny people the opportunity to live where they want and can afford. If you feel that you've been treated unfairly, give LACA a call and we'll look into your complaint. LACA's fair housing services are free, so call today and get the housing you deserve. 419-227-2586.
Thanks for joining us today on Community Focus. I'm Ann Decker, and we're talking trash with Connie Dershem. She's Lima's neighborhood specialist, and you've got all kinds of cleanup stuff to talk about, including the new cleanup supply trailer.
I do. Really exciting. A brand new thing. The city was awarded a grant from the Ohio Department of EPA, and with that grant, we purchased a utility trailer, tools, all kinds of stuff inside of the trailer that community groups will be able to borrow to do cleanups in their areas. And so we're going to be rolling that out here really quickly. But it's bright, colorful.
Oh, you can't miss it going down the street.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for people.
So what's in it?
Oh, there's brooms and shovels and rakes and leaf blowers and wheelbarrows and any number of things.
And any
goggles, safety vests, earplugs. I mean,
you're ready for a major cleanup. And any community group can just borrow it?
Yeah, well, there's, some restrictions. It's basically set up for, I brought my cheat notes, municipal jurisdictions within Allen County, so it doesn't have to be just within the city. Mm-hmm. Park districts, health districts, political subdivisions, volunteer groups, some cases, there's maybe a hardship case that the health department would refer or something, we would be able to take it out to them. And Allen County nonprofits, they have to be a 501c3.
Okay.
For that.
And they just call you and they can come get the trailer?
Well, there's an application, the whole application process, of course. And, there's certain restrictions, and you have to sign your life away that you're going to take care of tools, bring them back in good shape and all that. And then we have certain people from the city and county that will be able to bring the trailer out to you and then pick it up when you're done with your cleanups. So it may be a case sometimes where somebody would keep it over the weekend, depending on what kind of a cleanup they were doing. But the trailer can be picked up or dropped off Monday through Friday between 8:30 and 3. So, there's a wide range of activities that could take place. It could be a day, it could be several days.
Okay.
Whatever you're planning.
Well, and kind of to go along in conjunction with that, to show your pride, you've got these cute Plant Pride Not Litter signs.
The Plant Pride Not Litter signs. It's the same sign that we had quite a few years ago that Keep Allen County Beautiful brought here. And so we've kind of rejuvenated those signs again as part of this litter prevention grant. And we're taking nominations for properties that, are beautiful, that are well kept, that don't have any code violations or anything like that. So if you know of somebody, you see a property that you think deserves to have a sign in their yard, there's a simple form, and we'll put it up on the city's website and everything, so it'll be easily available. But just nominate that person, why you think they should win the sign, and we'll be good to go. And if possible, I'd like to have all the nominations in by the end of May. So before, summer hits and
Right.
we can have all these beautiful flowering yards with pretty signs.
And also coming up in May is the Citywide Pride Cleanup.
Citywide Pride Cleanup, yeah, that starts May 3rd. It'll go for 4 weeks, and this year 4 weeks in May because of the way Memorial Day falls. So we'll have the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th, and the 31st of May. And that again is an application if a group wants to host a dumpster site. Simple application, but I'd like to have those in by the end, well, maybe by the end of this week or early next week, the 19th or 21st, something like that. And there's really maybe one spot on the first and last week and a couple spots in the middle that aren't filled already, so there's still opportunity for people if they want to host a dumpster site. The cleanups are on Saturdays from 9 to 12. And it just takes 5 or 6 volunteers to man the dumpster and help people unload their stuff when they bring it. And
you haul it away.
We haul it away.
It doesn't get any easier than that.
Right. They'll have volunteer T-shirts and gloves and goggles and all that kind of safety equipment with them, you know, to man the dumpsters. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of the groups will.
It really is.
They had roast hot dogs and make it kind of a...
It's like a block party.
It is. Yeah, it really is. It's a lot of fun. I had a new group that's hosting this year, and they asked the other day, is it okay if we make hot dogs and stuff?
Sure.
Yeah.
Connie, you mentioned applications for all these things. Where do they get the applications?
From me. Most of them will be on the city's website under Community Development Neighborhood Support. So you can go there. They can call me at 419-221-5177. They can stop up at 50 Town Square. There's a lot of ways to get them. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming in, and by the end of May, we should have a cleaner community.
I hope so.
Thanks for coming in today. Thank you. Connie Dershem from the City of Lima. I'm Ann Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.
We're not doing well, Allen County. Almost 70% of our adults are overweight.
And close to 40% of our children.
We eat the wrong foods.
We smoke too much. We don't exercise nearly enough.
We can do better.
We can do better.
We can do better.
Activate Allen County is working with schools, churches, businesses, and local government to influence policies that will help us all do better.
We can do better for me.
For me. For all of us.
Join the effort to help Allen County do better by going to activateallencounty.com. Paid for with funding through a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
If you have the chance, will you help save the life of one of our nation's veterans? Someone you know? I'm Deborah Norville. If you're the mother, sister, spouse, or friend of a veteran who seems angry, sad, or isolated, you may be seeing warning signs of depression or suicide. Some of these warning signs can be that the veteran seems disconnected from family or friends, starts to give away prized possessions, displays anger or rage, or overreacts to problems. The VA is reaching out to help, so please reach back. If your loved one is a veteran, and if you even think you see these warning signs, call 1-800-273-TALK and press 1. That's 1-800-273-TALK and press 1. Don't second guess yourself. Reach out for help.
Hi, I'm Howard Elstro. I'm the Director of Public Works for the City of Lima. I want to tell you a little bit about the Public Works Department. Public Works is composed of 4 divisions: street maintenance, parks, recreation and forestry, engineering, and building, zoning, and permit issuance. The street maintenance division does exactly what the name says. We take care of all the maintenance within the public right-of-way: snow removal, storm cleanup, street sweeping, cleaning of catch basins, pothole patching, those type of tasks. This division is also tasked with stormwater and drainage responsibilities. Parks, Recreation, and Forestry performs maintenance necessary to maintain our parks in a safe, clean, inviting manner: mowing, playground maintenance, litter pickup, grooming playing fields, and the like. Our recreation staff plans, coordinates, and oversees recreation programs for the youth and adults of our community, such as softball, volleyball, and basketball programs. We also have within our Parks Division park rangers. Park rangers not only patrol the 13 city parks, but also oversees the security of the utility department's buildings and grounds. The engineering division is located on the second floor of the municipal building at 50 Town Square. Engineering staff plans, designs, and oversees large capital projects. Typical projects include bridges and street reconstruction, lighting projects, and traffic signal replacements, which are bid out to independent contractors and overseen by the engineering division staff of the Public Works Department. We also maintain a full array of maps of the city's streets, water lines, sewers in the engineering division. These maps are helpful when contractors and property owners are trying to understand the infrastructure beneath the surface of the city. Our last division is building, zoning, and permit issuance. When council decides an activity should be licensed, the permit office will take applications and issue license and permits. For example, permits are required for ice cream vendors, taxi drivers, garage and yard sales, and building and electrical contractors. This division also issues residential permits for any structure either being built or modified within the corporate limit of the city, and building and electrical permits countywide for commercial construction projects. Commercial and residential codes adopted by the state and the City of Lima provide an assurance of safety for occupants of residential and commercial buildings throughout our community. The Public Works Department is staffed by 65 full-time employees and up to 150 seasonal and contracted personnel who help us carry out our responsibilities. Overall, the Public Works Department contributes much to the quality of life for the community and the City of Lima, and we are very proud of the people that make this possible.
Storm drains lead to the river. Our river is closer than you think. What are you doing to protect it?
Good morning, 8:07, News Talk 1150 WYMA. On this Tuesday morning, welcoming representatives of the City of Lima. Today, specifically, welcoming Lima Mayor Dave Berger, our in-studio guest. Mayor, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike. Great to be here.
I trust you were prepared, although maybe you parked in a garage with a little bit of this April snowfall, huh?
Well, I have to say I'm kind of irritated. I think everybody is. We thought it was gone, and now it's not. My own gesture of defiance was not to wear an overcoat today.
There you go.
I'm not going to give up on the touch of spring that we've had. And
after the amazing weekend we just had.
That's right. It was gorgeous, and having the snowfall is really just plain irritating.
A little bit hard. I appreciate your candor this morning, and we'll look for more of the same with some of the other subject matters. And let's touch on some of those other subject matters. Obviously, yesterday the winds were brutal and forced us some power outages. And how does the city react to that kind of thing? Generally, I mean, it's all about AEP, American Electric Power, and the various entities. Is there any kind of notification that the city receives, or is that law enforcement, the police department? How does that work?
Well, AEP does have a kind of an enhanced set of information tools for us, as opposed to half a dozen years ago. We now generally get a advance weather report that notifies us of severe weather patterns that are going to affect their service area. So that generally gives us a heads up, and then we basically are on notice and available to be responding. I think the biggest thing, of course, with yesterday's winds was simply being available in case there were downed trees that would have been in any of the right-of-ways. And I'm not aware that we had incidents in the city, other than some of the electrical service being disrupted on the east side of town.
Yeah, a little bit traumatic, actually. Quite surprising that outages closed down a couple of schools, Freedom Elementary and Lima Senior. That definitely catches your attention, though. Huh?
Well, it really depends upon what wire gets taken down, and sometimes there's not the kind of looping of the electrical system that we often have with our data feeds, which do provide for backup systems. Our electrical systems essentially are directly wired and with no backup. So if that wire gets taken down, there's nothing to do but to get the crew back out there to get it restrung.
Interesting thought, and we'll spin off that here in a little bit. We will invite callers for questions with issues regarding the city of Lima. Mayor Berger will be with us until 8:30, and our phone lines are open as usual. 224-1150 is the local number to call. You talked about backups for both the power and information technology, that sort of thing. There's a special event coming up Thursday in Lima that deals with IT or information technology. What can you tell us about that?
Well, there's a local organization that I helped to start about 8 years ago, which brings together the information tech professionals in our region. It's called LRETA, Lima Regional IT Alliance, and its annual large event is this Thursday, and they've got 4 tracks of activity, day-long kinds of presentations. It's very cheap to participate. It's $20 if you're a member, $30 if you're not, and that really just covers the lunch. And at lunch in particular, we will have a senior person from our local Procter & Gamble plant who's involved with their IT systems, who's going to be specifically talking about the concept of business continuity, which is more than just backing up your data in case you lose it. It's really about how do you plan for and put in place the necessary kinds of systems so that if your systems go down, how do you get back up? And for most of us, it's a pretty complex kind of task once you begin thinking about the varieties of vulnerabilities that exist. And from our perspective, the state of Ohio has been actually dinging us on our audits because though we had good systems, we didn't have good business continuity plans in place. And when you think about what kind of vulnerability a city has, you have to think about a place like Joplin, Missouri, where you've got a mile-wide tornado coming through the middle of your town and wiping you out. Well, in our case, we've got our systems housed in one building. If that one building goes away because of a tornado, how do we come back up? How do our payroll, our operating systems for our wastewater and water treatment plants, all of our IT that's associated with the police department, all in one place. So we're right now literally constructing a second place for systems that will back up to that, and that'll be the renovation of the jail that's now underway. But the best practice is actually a three-legged approach where you have 2 places that are localized and then a third place that's at least 30 miles away, where in fact if you do confront a weather event that is what confronted Joplin, you still have the ability to bring your operation back up. So that's the kind of planning that I think all of us responsible for in any organization. You have to think about what happens if your data is destroyed and your systems are destroyed. And you got to put in place a plan for being able to get back in operation.
Interesting thought, and maybe an analogy a little bit would be a lot of times some companies and or corporations won't have a huge collection of their hierarchy take a plane ride all at the same time on the same plane, that kind of a thing. spread out or diversify some of your key components, of which your information for your operation certainly is. This event on Thursday.
People can go online to register at lrita.org, LRITA.org. And as I said, it's very modestly priced for a day of really terrific presentations. Folks can also see the day's schedule there if they want to check it out before they actually register.
All right. Quite interesting and certainly helpful, no question, for many entities. Much more with the mayor, including your calls, the city partnering with ODOT, and also an update on JSMC. We'll do that coming up this morning from News Talk 1150 WIMA. It's 8:19 at News Talk 1150 WIMA. Tuesday morning at this time, welcoming the city of Lima. Mayor Dave Berger taking time out of his day to join us, and your phone calls at 224-1150. Well, Mayor, the focus continues also on the east side, obviously, like Bellefontaine Avenue, that sort of area where there has been conversation for a number of years now regarding what to do with the delays with the trains and that sort of thing coming through there. The city continues to be apparently very proactive in partnership with ODOT and others seeking federal monies, correct?
Well, you may remember when the governor had the State of the State address here and brought his cabinet to Lima. One of the opportunities that we had that day was to meet with ODOT's director, Jerry Ray, and our principal focus in that conversation was to talk about the east side grade separation and the kind of traffic conflicts that occur there every single day. And what we got from the director was exactly what we needed, which was his pledge that he and his staff would continue to work with us so that we could find a solution. We were very pleased just a couple weeks ago to get a phone call from ODOT saying that they had been evaluating the request for proposals from the federal government for what's called their Tiger transportation grant programs, which are the very large-scale grant or highway projects, basically projects that are 10 million or more in size. And, of course, our project is 18 to 20 million, so we certainly qualify. The other thing they found of interest was the fact that it is multimodal. It involves both the highway as well as railroad, and the fact that we have a substantial amount of work already done with the engineering and the planning for the project. So they said, we think that this is something we'd like to compete, and they asked us to partner with them. And so we have, we were at last week's Lima City Council meeting, there was legislation to authorize us to proceed, and we are now fully engaged to get ready by April the 25th, which is not far off, to have all of this done and actually submitted.
10 days. Yeah.
Right. And the other really good thing about it is that we're going to know later this summer the outcome. So it's not like we've got to wait a long time. And if we should succeed, then obviously we'll be in a position to rapidly respond to that opportunity. So I think just the fact that the Director Ray has kept us kind of top of the mind with his staff and have invited us to partner, I take as a really terrific outcome, and hope we're going to keep our fingers crossed that the competition is such that we're able to succeed in actually bringing home the bacon.
Does it go without saying that bringing the Ohio Department of Transportation on as a partner in this presentation to the federal entities is a great partner to have? Huh?
It is a great partnership. Now, I do have to also say that in the last go-round for Tiger grants, Ohio got none.
Okay.
So this is a very competitive circumstance, and having Ohio, the state, as a partner, I think is absolutely a good thing. And the fact that they got none the last time may position us well this time. So we're taking it very seriously and are hopeful that the outcome will be positive.
And it looks like we have a call coming in. We'll get to that here.